afternoon, class. How you guys doing today? Good? Doing good? Alright, so we're going to start out with industrialization and urbanization in America, which takes place in the late 19th to early 20th century. So we're just going to go over the agenda for today. It'll be a rather short day today. We're going to start out with a YouTube video that just gives you some general background knowledge. We're going to jump into some notes right after. We're going to do our activity and then just finish with a ticket out the door. Just jump into the YouTube video.
Hi, I'm John Green. This is Crash Course U.S. History, and today we're going to continue our extensive look at American capitalism. Mr. Green, I'm sorry, are you saying that I grow up to be a tool of the bourgeoisie? Oh, not just a tool of the bourgeoisie, me from the past, but a card-carrying member of it. I mean, you have employees whose labor you can exploit because you own the means of production, which in your case includes a chalkboard, a video camera, a desk, and a xenophobic globe. Meanwhile, Stan, Danica, Raul, and Meredith toil in crushing poverty. Stan, did you write this part? These are all lies. Cue the intro. So last week we saw how commercial farming transformed the American West and gave us mythical cowboys and unfortunately not so mythical Indian reservations. Today we leave the sticks and head for the cities, as so many Americans and immigrants have done throughout this nation's history. I mean, we may like to imagine that the history of America is all go west, young man, but in fact, from Mark Twain to pretty much every hipster in Brooklyn, it's the opposite. So population was growing everywhere in America after 1850. Following a major economic downturn in the 1890s, farm prices made a comeback, and that drew more and more people out west to take part in what would eventually be called agriculture's golden age. Although, to be fair, agriculture's real golden age was in like 3000 BCE, when Mesopotamians were like, dude, if we planted these in rows, we could have more of it than we could eat. So it was really more of a second golden age. But anyway, more than 1 million land claims were filed under the Homestead Act in the 1890s, and between 1900 and 1910, the populations of Texas and Oklahoma together increased by almost 2 million people. And another 800,000 people moved into Kansas, the Dakotas, and Nebraska. That's right, people moved to Nebraska. Sorry, I just hadn't yet offended Nebraskans. I'm looking to get through the list before the end of the year. But one of the central reasons that so many people moved out west was that the demand for agricultural products was increasing due to the growth of cities. In 1880, 20% of the American population lived in cities, and there were 12 cities with a population of over 100,000 people. This rose to 18 cities in 1900, with the percentage of urban dwellers rising to 38%. And by 1920, 68% of Americans lived in cities, and 26 cities had a population over 100,000. So in the 40 years around the turn of the 20th century, America became the world's largest industrial power and went from being predominantly rural to largely urban. This is, to use a technical historian term, a really big deal, because it didn't just make cities possible, but also their products. It's no coincidence that while all this was happening, we were getting cool stuff like electric lights and moving picture cameras.
Alright, so we're going to stop that there. You guys can go ahead and finish up that YouTube video for homework later. But just share with your partner next to you for about a minute the things that you found interesting or your biggest takeaways from the video. Sounds like everyone's finishing up right about now. I heard some good things though. Alright, let's get into some notes. Alright, so we're going to be talking about the innovators and their contributions to society. And the first one, which I'm sure you all know, Thomas Edison. He's widely considered one of the greatest inventors in American history. He's most famously known for inventing the electric light bulb, phonograph, and motion picture camera. And just so you guys know, you don't have to worry about the dates too much, they're just there precautionary. Next one is Nikola Tesla. He was a gifted engineer and inventor. He had significant contributions to the development of the alternating current, or AC, and it revolutionized the generation, transmission, and distribution of electricity. Next one, Henry Ford. Ford was an American inventor and the founder of Ford Motor Company. He's most famously known for inventing the Model T automobile, and bringing the assembly line into the car industry. And this made production faster, made it cheaper, so cars were just being mass produced because of Henry Ford. Then we have the Wright brothers, Orville Wright and Wilbur Wright, and obviously they are accredited with inventing the world's first successful airplane. They laid the foundation for modern flight technology. We good to move on? And last slide for the day. Alexander Graham Bell. Bell is a Scottish-American inventor, scientist, and teacher, and he is most famously known for inventing the telephone in 1876. Then we got Marconi. He was an Italian inventor and electrical engineer. He is credited with the invention of the radio, and he did this with the equipment he used to build, and he just transmitted electrical signals from one end of his house to another in 1895. Greer, put the phone away.
Yes, sir.
And then we got John D. Rockefeller, which was one of the biggest monopolies during this time. He was an American businessman and a philanthropist. He was the founder of the Standard Oil Company, which was one of the largest and most powerful companies in the world at the time. He was a very ruthless businessman, and he innovated the oil refining industry. Then we got one of the other biggest monopolies in this time period, Andrew Carnegie. He was a Scottish-American businessman and philanthropist. He revolutionized the steel industry by adopting new innovations in his company like the Bessemer process. Now, he didn't create this process, but he developed it and he put it into the steel industry, and it just led to a mass expansion of steel in America during the 19th century. Okay. So now we're going to move into an activity for today. Let me just make sure we have an even amount of people. All right, so I'm just gonna count off ones and twos. Just remember your number. So Jessica, you're gonna be 1, Dylan, you're gonna be 2. And you guys have a separate sheet of paper, or do you need me to give you one? Okay. Okay. So number 1, so you're gonna pick from the 4 on this side. Number 2 is you're gonna pick from the 4 on this side. All you're gonna do is just pick 2 of the 4. You're gonna write who they were, what they did, and how they impacted society today. And I don't want just a simple one-sentence answer. I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes, so actually make it well thought out. You can have a little fun with it. You can try to connect it to like your own world. So I'm gonna give you a few minutes for that. Also, if you have any questions, I can assist you. You guys have about another 50 seconds, but if you need more time, just let me know, okay? Looking. We're almost coming to an end here. All good? All good? All right. And now all my 1s get up and find a 2. We're going to swap answers. You don't have to write down the other person's answers. Just try to listen and really think about what they're saying. Okay? All right. All my 1s find a 2. about a minute and a half for this. Hearing some good points. And both of you guys get a chance to share your answer. Need another minute. All good? Okay. We're just gonna go into the final thing here and take it out the door. Okay, you guys. Yeah, you can just write it on the bottom of that actually. So you're just gonna write, we call it 2 stars and a wish. You're just gonna write down 2 things you learned today, 2 things you found interesting, and then you're gonna write down 1 question you have or 1 thing you wish I spent more time on today. And then just hand it in to me before you guys leave today, okay? Oh yeah, don't forget to finish that YouTube video that we didn't finish in class. Whenever you're done, you can come hang it up here at the front. Thank you, Jessica. And you're free to go whenever you're ready. Mr. Greer.
Try to stay off the phone.
Don't forget the YouTube video and write a short response on it. It doesn't have to be long, just 5 sentences, okay? All right, thank you.